What's up, everybody? Coach Stefan on with one of our clients, Madison. Madison, can you introduce yourself, just like what you do for work, your age, and give people just a little bit of background about you?
Yeah, of course. My name is Maddison. I'm 34. I'm a firefighter, and I've been doing this program for 7 months.
Yeah. How long have you been in fire?
Uh, about 4 years.
Okay. So not super new to the game. When you first came to us 7 months ago, like I know aesthetically you weren't where you wanted, but you were a firefighter in pretty good shape. Let's just kind of go from like what made you want to join the program 7 months ago back. And we're recording this in the end of January of 25. So in June of 24, what was like the big kick for you to say, hey, I'm going to go get a coach. I want to get a program. I want somebody to help me with a little bit of everything.
Yeah, of course. So in April of 2024, I broke my collarbone and scapula. It was the first broken bone I've ever had. The first time my body didn't do what I needed it to do. So everything was hard. Walking was hard. Walking hurt. And I'm such a creature of habit that I need my workouts or
Yep.
my my mood just goes down the drain. So after I was finally feeling better, I wasn't where I wanted to be physically, and that's when I decided to join the program and see
Yeah.
how it went.
So we'll even back up a little bit more. So that's what got you to join. You mentioned when we were just chatting before this, like you've done some programs in the past,
Mhm.
but they weren't as effective as these. And we'll get into that. But what programs did you do in the past? You know,
I've had different nutritionists that I've tried. I tried, I think it's
yep.
RP training. Yeah, I tried that. It, I don't know, it just wasn't for me. And then with the nutritionist in the past, I felt like I lost a lot of fat, but I also lost a lot of muscle, and I felt depleted all the time, tired all the time. With this program and with the nutritionist Ryan that I have, he's incredible. I feel stronger than ever. I feel like I have more energy than ever, and I feel sh more shredded than ever.
Yeah, yeah. So the reason I ask is a couple things. You're actually in a category that is a little bit different because I'd say 90 and probably 95% of our clients never worked with an online coach. So you have before, which is
Mhm.
good because we get a lot of people that are like, hey, this is brand new. This is great, which is good. But also, it's awesome for people to see an experience of somebody that has worked with a nutritionist, RP Strength, which, if you guys don't know, is a way bigger than us, like online coaching. So they kind of similarly do what we do in a way, and just didn't really land where you wanted it to be. Now, you've been in the
Yeah.
program 7 months. What you guys can't see, and if you go look at our website, the transformation photo is insane. You're down 35 pounds. I would say mostly body fat, plus you put on muscle.
Mhm.
When you joined 7 months ago, did you think this is kind of where you would be in 7 months?
Uh, yeah, I knew I could get here. I knew I'm disciplined enough to get here. I just didn't know I would love the program so much and want to continue doing it even though I've gotten to where I want to be,
Yeah.
if it makes sense.
Yeah. And you've been dialed in. Like I looked at your graph and your nutrition, and like you are extremely disciplined. We have several clients that are super on point, and I mean, results speak for themselves, right? Some people for the transformation that you had probably would have taken like a year and a half, 2 years. You got it done in 7 months. Some of our other firefighters, like Josh, and some of our cops, Jonathan, like huge, huge transformation. But I think
Mhm.
the big thing too for you is what you mentioned before. You've lost some body fat, right? And you've gotten lean. But for your job as a firefighter, like you kind of need to be as much of a beast as possible, physically,
Yeah.
performance wise. But obviously, you want to look good too.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
what has been like the difference? I mean, I'm glad you love the program, but compared to other programs, what do you think the big change was that made you love this more?
Um, I mean, Ryan's there for me for any questions whenever I need. He gets back to me super quick. I love that I can see the program on the app, track my food, and it just shows that everything's in one place.
Yep.
So it makes everything super easy. And the workouts are fun. It's a lot of variation. You're not doing the same thing week after week, month after month. Yeah.
Yeah. How's the collaboration been? And I asked that. I'll kind of prelude why I asked that. I think some coaching programs, and not naming any specific, but it's kind of like, hey, go do this. and there's not really a lot of like feedback loop, like, hey, how was this? How are we doing this week? The way we
Mhm.
do our check-ins and the way we ask for feedback, like after your workouts, do you feel like it's been pretty collaborative with your coach working to kind of curate and mold and tweak things?
Yeah, for sure. At one point I had tweaked my back, and he gave me exercises like instead of back squats, we were doing belt squats,
Yep.
things that wouldn't put or load my back and load my spine. So just any changes I want to make, he's very quick with that and easy to talk to.
Right, right. Yeah, and one thing that we try to pride ourselves on, and you could tell, is just communication, right? It's just generally good coaching customer service. Like we are a smaller company compared to like the big ones. And so we don't have as many moving parts and we keep our roster size a little bit smaller so the coach can be there answering questions, making adjustments, kind of doing all that. Did you have any hesitations prior to working with us? I mean, I know that you worked with some coaches in the past online, didn't really work. Did you have any like big fears or maybe like skepticism before joining?
Uh, yeah, I mean everyone does, right? Like
Yeah.
you're jumping into this new program that and you're not sure. You're like, are those paid ads? I don't know, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was skepticism for sure, but I think I was at the place where I just needed something. I just needed a goal I needed to have a goal to work towards, you know. Um, so I'm glad I took the jump for sure.
Yeah. Well, what keeps you motivated? Because you're like, hey, I've kind of hit the goal, but I want to keep working towards it. And that's good because I'm the same way. I'm a high achiever. I keep the carrot right here. I mean, I'll take a nibble. I'm not eating the whole thing though, because I want to keep going. What I guess two-part question. Number one, what continues to make you super motivated? And why do you feel that like this program could keep pushing you in that direction?
Um, For me, I think what keeps me motivated is just I want to see how far I can push my body as far as like let's see how lean I can get, but also maintain my strength and
Yeah.
my muscle mass. Or let's shoot for a higher rep range on this or a higher one rep max, you know, like there's always something you can tweak. I think that keeps me motivated as well as just I need to be fit for my job.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but I think there's always been that drive there, and this is the perfect program to just kind of harness it and yeah,
Yeah.
get to where I want to be.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, you're an animal. You've been crushing it since day one and put in a lot of work, and we're all super proud of you. I mean, you've had one of the best transformations that we've seen. I mean, really, like the
Oh, thank
pictures
you.
speak for themselves. And I mean, you're not that far in. I mean, 7 months sounds like a long time, but like I'm sure it's gone by pretty fast.
Yeah, for sure.
And you're super busy. And again, the physical transformation is great. And you guys just see the pictures, which are great, but there's a lot of time in the gym and a lot of track nutrition to get there.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to it. So I guess the last question would be, we do have a lot of firefighters in the community. Law enforcement and fire are definitely like our top two career fields. We have a lot of male and female firefighters join. But like people sometimes, like you said, are skeptical. Fair enough. And I ask those questions because you don't know who these people are. What would
Yeah.
you say to somebody that maybe is a firefighter that's watching this and is kind of on the fence and sees your journey and some other people and doesn't really know if this would be the right move for them?
I think the one thing that this program has that a lot of others don't, that firefighters can really relate to is community. We're so used to working in a team environment,
Yep.
and this program is the same exact thing, you know, with the platforms you have on what is it, school?
School. Yeah.
School. Yeah, you can just you work together and you push each other. It's no different than the firehouse. Um, but you're all working towards the same goal. And I think that's what makes this such an effective program.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. It's a two-part, right? It's the individualization, right? Like, you have your coach and your program and you're in your zone. But if it was just that and you don't really get to see, it is hard. And like I always tell people, you work out harder if you are around people
Yeah,
generally, right?
100%.
So it's one of those things where if you see people posting in the group, even if you're not like in there actively all the time, like, wow, this person's transformation and our Wednesday wins and crushing it. And you're like, man, okay, I gotta step it up. I gotta push to another higher
Yeah.
level. And then you get shouted out and that motivates you. And I think again, we're all kind of here for the same goal. We all want to just be leaders. We want to be badasses. We want to push ourselves physically. Generally, most people in this group are high achievers that just want to get after it.
For
But
sure.
we have to make sure we have the right tools in place so we can execute. And I know Ryan probably has talked to you about that. It's like we kind of want to take the thinking out of it. Not that it's mindless, but like, hey, today I'm doing this. Cool. Let me go,
Yeah,
coach. Let me execute. And a lot of
totally.
our military and fire and police do really well when they have the structure,
Hmm.
the guidance, the accountability. I know you don't need a lot of accountability, but even somebody that's as dedicated and on point as you, even having somebody to bounce things off of.
Yeah, for sure.
And I know when I had a coach, it's like, look, I'm going to go do my stuff. But I do have questions, not because I need my hand held, but like, hey, I'm thinking about doing this, or I tweak my back, little things. And just the fact that I knew somebody was watching me and had expectations for me to crush it
Hmm.
just dialed things in even more. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I got to perform. And I think it seems like that's a big push for you too. Like you want to make your coach proud. Obviously, you have your own personal goals, but you kind of want to report to them that you're crushing it too.
Yeah, for sure. For me, like you said, like just the structure is everything, you know. I respond really well to that. So just being able to open up my app and seeing like which workout I'm doing today, like,
Yep.
okay, I just know I need to check that off and I'm good. But if it's there, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Sometimes I don't know, like before you came here, not that you were new to working out, but even for me, if I'm like, all right, what am I going to do today? And I get in the gym and I maybe kind of thinking about it and then I just like wasted a lot of time versus right now, you can look before you go in the gym. Hey, what do I have today? And you're kind of
Yeah,
mentally playing it. Okay, I'm going to go do this. I'm going to go do this. By the time you get there, you open it up and just boom, right?
yeah.
And
The
you
other thing
leave.
I love is the history. Like you could look back at
Yep.
what weight you did last week, you know, and say, okay, I'm gonna beat that, or I'm gonna go higher, or I'm gonna do a couple more reps, like either one, you know. So you have that accountability for yourself, and you know what you're pushing towards instead of like, I think I did 30s last week, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say everything from that, like obviously seeing what you did last week and kind of pushing yourself, and then also like the built-in rest time. I mean, that's what I use. I use the app every day to train because I think sometimes we get caught up and we're like, yeah, I think it's been like 2 minutes. And then when
Yeah,
I'm like going for a squat and I'm actually using it, I'm like, man, 2 minutes already.
long.
Yeah. So there's some things that will hold you accountable, definitely within how we structure the workouts. Again, everybody's a little bit different, but I know when I use the app for my own training too, I move at a better pace. And sometimes I even put things in the app, I'll program it, and then I'll have like Ryan or Mike program me sometimes too. And I'm like, man, this was way too long. So I go back to them or I go in it and make adjustments until it's dialed in. And once it's there, and once I have that structure, I'm like, let's go.
Yeah,
And I can kind
100%.
of just take that mental space. And I also, I don't know if you're like follow a bunch of fitness people, but even for me, I found myself kind of like a while ago scrolling through YouTube or Instagram and kind of getting ideas. And I just feel like I wasted so much time.
Yeah.
What I hear from a lot of our clients is I kind of stopped the whole fitness doom scrolling. Like I just kind of
Yeah.
like listen to my coach and they
Hmm.
tell me what to do. And so I don't waste time like researching things or trying different things. Like I just go to one source that I trust
Yeah, for
and they
sure.
kind of do everything for me. Do you feel like that you did that in the past or you always kind of had a structured plan?
I feel like for the most part, I've always had a structured plan, but I wouldn't say that it was fun for me.
Yeah.
Like this program and the workouts are always fun.
Yeah. That's a game changer. And I don't think a lot of people talk about that. Like, I've been lifting for, I know Ryan a long time too, but like 17 years, like super
Yeah,
consistent.
same.
If I hated going to the gym, I wouldn't do it. Like, it's
Hmm.
not, yeah, it's my thing. Like you, it's a mental health, it's all those things. But I legitimately look forward to my workouts. And if they
Yeah,
start to suck, I notice my intensity drops. I'm
hmm.
not getting after it. But if it's something, and I think it's having somebody create it for you, which is sometimes why I don't even write my own freaking programs, because I'm like, give me what you got. And
Yeah,
it's kind of like new and exciting, and you don't really know what the coach is going to throw at you. Versus if you go do your own stuff too, even for somebody that has more experience, you're kind of biased. You kind of
yeah,
write the
for
same
sure.
stuff, you do the same things. So I'm
Hmm.
glad it's been a lot of variety and like, I mean, it's worked
Yeah,
really well for you. So cool. Well, I appreciate you jumping on. Again, we're really proud of the work you've been putting in.
thank you
Proof's in
so
the
much.
pudding. You've had an awesome transformation. you're crushing it in like quite literally every performance aspect too, if I'm not wrong, right? Strength, endurance, cardio,
Yeah, I feel like I've
everything, man.
seen increases in all areas, so
Yeah, crushing it. Well, I
excited.
appreciate you jumping on, and hopefully this really helps somebody else that maybe is kind of on the fence or just wants some insight into what the program's like. So thank
Yeah,
you.
for sure. Of course.